everybody, this is to help you with extended response for CR number 9, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. It says on Saturday you bowl at Mar Vista Bowl, where each game bowled is $3.75, including shoe rental. On Sunday you bowl at Pins, where the shoe rental is $5, and each game bowled is $3.25. How many games would you need to bowl to pay the same price at both bowling alleys? All right, so this is what we're trying to find out. If I'm going to go bowling and I'm trying to pick which bowling alley will be the better price, sometimes I think to myself, okay, I know I'm going to be bowling 5 games, and then I want to compare the two costs of those bowling alleys to see which one would have a better deal. So this is what we're going to do in this problem. We're going to try to figure out how many games it will take where both of the bowling alleys are exactly the same price. So it wouldn't matter if I went to one over the other based on this number of games. So that's what we're looking for, is the number of games it will take where the cost would be the same for both bowling alleys. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a let statement. It's always the best way to start an algebraic word problem. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say let. Now, how will I know what I'm looking for in the problem? Most of the time, what I like to do is I like to look at the last sentence of the word problem. That's usually the question that is being asked of what I'm looking for. And it is, in this case, it says, how many games would you need to bowl to pay the same price at both bowling alleys? So I'm looking for the number of games. So I'm going to go ahead and create this text box. And instead of an X, I'm going to use a G this time because I am going to be looking for the number of games. So let G equal the number of games. And I'm just going to put bold so I know that I'm talking about bowling. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at Mar Vista Bowl and I'm going to look at Pins to try to write some type of an expression to come up with a cost. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put an MVB for Mar Vista Bowl. And I know that their cost is $3.75, and that's per game. And the good thing about this is that that includes the cost of the shoe rental. Okay, so that's MVB, Mar Vista Bowl. On the other side, I have Pins. I'm going to do that in a different color, sorry. I have Pins, and Pins cost me $3.25 per game, and that's per game. I'm going to write, there we go. Sorry, I'm so slow with my writing. And it's also, not only do I pay that, but I also have to pay $5 for shoes. Okay, so let's talk about, oh, that is the sloppiest writing ever. So let's talk about expressions that would represent these costs. Well, if G is the number of games being bowled, and I know at MVB I'm paying $3.75 per game, that means I'm going to take that amount, $3.75, and I am going to pay that per game. So I can multiply it by the number of games that I'm bowling. If I bowl 1 game, it's $3.75 times 1 game, which is $3.75. If I bowl 2 games, it's $3.75 times 2 games that I bowled. So that is why the $3.75 actually is describing the number of games, because it's how much it costs per game. Pins, I'm not paying $3.75. I'm actually paying, and I'm just going to do this in a different color as well, I am actually paying $3.25 per game. There we go. So now this means that every single game I bowl, I'm going to pay $3.25 to play that game. If I bowl 1 game, I pay $3.25 to bowl that game. But the biggest thing here is that not only am I paying for the games I'm bowling, I'm also paying this $5 shoe rental fee up here. So no matter what I've paid per games, I also have to add on a $5 shoe rental fee because that's how much it costs at Pins to bowl. Now I'm looking for when these bowling alleys are the same price. I want to know how many games I can bowl until both of those bowling alleys are the same price, which means it wouldn't matter which one I went to. So that means if they're the same price, they would have to be equal to each other. And that is my equation that I am now writing for this word problem. So the first step I have to do, and I know all of you know how to do this, you've done this before with two-step equations, and now with variables on both sides, is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to build my ladder, and I'm going to try to collect all my like terms on one side of the equal sign. Well, I already have all these g's over here. On this side, I have g's and constants. So it would be much easier for me to just move all of my g's to this side or the left side of the equal sign. So I'm going to do that by doing the opposite of a positive 3.25g, which is a negative 3.25g. Now remember, I want the constants all alone, so I'm going to subtract not only the cost per game, but the g representing the number of games too, because I am collecting my like terms together on the left side of the equal sign. Anything I do to one side, I do to the other. These will zero out, and I'm left with 5, which is what I want. On this side, I want to go ahead and subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. I bring down my decimal point and I bring down my g because 3 minus 3 is 0. Now I just have a one-step equation, so I'm going to divide both sides by 0.50. And now I'm trying to find the number of g's or how many games, so I have to have the g here by itself. That's why I'm doing the opposite operation of division. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side as well. These are offensive form of 1. So I'm left with g is equal to, and on your calculator, you can put 5 divided by 0.50, and the answer is 10. So I am going to make a final statement with my text box that says, if I play 10 games, it will be the same cost at both bowling alleys. So I can play 10 games, and that's when that price will be exactly the same. All right, good luck with your extended.